How's everyone doing? Going live, haven't gone live in a little while, but really excited, feeling really good, and really excited to go live. And I think it's pretty, I wonder what everyone thinks of my title of this video. As everyone's getting prepared to head out to St. Kitts, let me get some more light on here. I am leaving now on Friday. I was supposed to depart on Thursday, but due to Hurricane Nicole making landfall here in Palm Beach County where I live, I have been delayed. So, the title of this video is, I found a better investment than Bitcoin Cash. Oh my God. What am I talking about? Where have I been the last couple weeks and all that. So letting some people come in the chat. We got 2 here, 1 thumbs up. Hope everyone's doing good. Gonna hop on for probably, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes tonight. I started packing for St. Kitts now, and too bad I can't leave tomorrow, but excited to see everyone Friday, see everyone rolling in on Telegram. Sunny's doing a fantastic job, and super excited to get back out there. It's a beautiful island, and excited to meet so many people that have been friends and supportive and support them over the years. So, what is this better investment than Bitcoin Cash? What have I been up to? So we should first also say, what an epic couple days in crypto. So crypto is underneath $800 billion in total market cap, which is pretty baffling to me because in 2017, we made a top of 850 billion, and so far the market respected that top until today, really. So what a insane day. Crypto to me is an extreme fire sale right now. We could certainly see more downside, but I think we gotta be pretty darn close to a bottom. And yeah, super excited to be able to take part of it. So if you guys have any questions or want me to get to the part of the video here, I'll get into what is a better investment. So you've seen a lot from me in this time on my channel talking about, you've probably seen a slowdown in my pace of videos, and a lot of it has been centered around my business. I've increased quite a bit of staff, and really drained the life out of me, and wanting to get back to working more on this YouTube channel, which I've worked very hard on this channel to get it to what it is, and it's not the biggest channel, and it's not all these other things, but I'm proud of it. I've worked hard on it, made a lot of videos I'm very proud of, and made a lot of good friendships because of it. So my pace to be able to upload and partake in other things outside of my family and business has been dramatically lessened, and I've been looking at myself and trying to figure out why. So I feel like at the end of the day I didn't have the gas in the tank to finish. So more recently, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I went to a friend of mine who's a good crypto friend of mine, takes Bitcoin Cash in his business, owns I guess you'd call it like a performance clinic. And my wife was actually there for a weight loss product that he wants her channel to endorse and try and all that. But while I was there, we both got our blood work done to kind of examine ourselves. And what came back was pretty baffling on my side. My wife was all perfect and everything. But, and this is getting to the investment part, a better investment than Bitcoin Cash, than peer-to-peer cash, is, for me specifically, what I found out from the blood results. So, throughout my 20s, I was able to do whatever. I would crush everything. I had forever energy. I knew sleep was important. I get my sleep, but man, I could work like 15 hours a day, and just, it gave me a competitive advantage in the marketplace in terms of business and things like that. So what was baffling to me the past year, and I thought and it probably had something to do with a little bit of depression from losing people. I think it stemmed from there, and high stress. But my blood work came back bad from these perspectives. My hemoglobin, which is tied to diabetes was getting darn close to pre-diabetic, and it makes a little bit of sense now. And I'm in decent shape. I'm not overweight. I go to the gym. I do all those things. I try to. But I do have, my father has diabetes, and so I think it's a very genetic thing. Mark, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. I saw you uploaded today, man. I'm going to catch up after this. I'm going to go lay down. But just talking about, Mark, I recently had my blood work done. And it turns out I am essentially pre-diabetic, which I think makes a lot of sense in terms of like just the way I've been feeling and the output of things I can do. And that wasn't the only thing. So I was pre-diabetic. Also, my one of the cholesterol things was high. So yeah, no, you may know some diabetics, and like my father is one. So I'm not diabetic, but certainly in getting to like that, like right on the cusp of the pre-diabetic level, which makes sense, man. I used to be able to work. I get up at 7, leave my house at 7, get back at 6:30, see the family, and I'd pump out more work from like 9 to 11, sleep 6 or 7 hours, and go from there. So what's happened the past 6 months or so, after I put my kids down, I just wanted to go to bed and just like didn't feel good. I was doing a lot of yoga, meditation, anything to try to make myself feel like like I felt like I had a brain tumor and shit like that. And and Mark's sending me some stuff on Telegram I'll check out after this. So anyways, like that, me being running a business, running a family, and running a YouTube channel became rather difficult. So that was pretty eye opening. And then I talked about the cholesterol. One of the cholesterol things was a little high. So I pretty much laid off. Don't eat fried food. I'm only 33, so I feel like I'm invincible. But I think like the biggest culprit to everything. And guys, this is like, at first I thought it was like embarrassing to say, but like I had no testosterone, like none. Like my 60-year-old father, like had a lot more testosterone than me. I had no testosterone, and that is probably the most predominant. Like there's a scale. You're supposed to be like somewhere like the mid 200s to 900 on the scale if you've ever measured your testosterone. I was in like the mid 100s, which is essentially like nothing. So that was really bad. And like again, almost like embarrassing to say. And I think a lot of it could be derived from a level of depression, which we don't need to go talk about that, per se. But so long story short, I've cleaned up my diet. I am now on supplements in terms of like testosterone. I take testosterone now, and after a few weeks, man, I feel really good. Like I feel like I don't have brain fog. I feel strong in the gym. I feel like I can push, longer hours. I still really value sleep. I'm trying to really make sure I get good sleep. So I guess in all this, the better investment is your health. There's a saying, better investment in the Bitcoin Cash. You either pay for your health now, or you pay to cure your sickness later. And all these things are connected. We're biological species. So yeah, pretty eye opening. So like if you're ever feeling off, or you just want to be like at peak performance, look at your blood work. I'm not sure where you're from. It cost me a couple $100 to look at it. And yeah, like if I never paid attention to it and just kept on doing what I was doing, like I'd probably die like in my 50s. Like if you really think about it, like let diabetes run rampant and then let your cholesterol go up. And having the higher testosterone helps you metabolize better, helps you do a lot of things better. There's ways to naturally increase your testosterone. I was so low where I didn't feel like that would get me to where I want to be. I want to be on the higher end of that spectrum to be more high performance, and do things I love. I love doing this channel. I love working in crypto. I love building my business. I love playing with my kids. All those things get robbed from you. And I did my best still to partake in all of them. But yeah, so invest in your health. It's a very good investment. And even though crypto at these prices looks like an amazing opportunity, it really is. And I am investing in lots of cryptos. I bought a lot of cryptos the last couple of days. Certainly, we can talk more about the nature of the markets. but you're not going to enjoy all your future crypto wealth as Bitcoin Cash becomes the world reserve currency of the world if you are dying of diabetes or getting your feet amputated or losing your eyesight, right? It's not a good investment at that level. Right, Cooper? There's my dog. So yeah, anyone in the chat, say hello. Ask any questions. If you're in St. Kitts or going to St. Kitts, let me know. But yeah, so I think you'll be seeing more of me as I feel good. I've been in such a funk, and it's a combination of everything. But in other news, I have some really good news to report. I am a part of a buying group. I just got back from Boston last week, and what that means, I'm a part of a buying group, is that I am a part. My business buys appliances and sells them to people. So where big national outfits have a lot of buying power, and more than I can do as just a small business owner. I'm in an alliance with a bunch of other small business owners like me that we take our buying power and we buy as a pact. So we push down our buying power. And we get large rebates and better pricing. And I've started there's over 100 dealers like me around the country. I've started a crypto committee within the buying group. And I have requested to get all of my rebates paid in Bitcoin Cash. So, I do millions of dollars of purchasing every year, and I'd probably be seeing somewhere about 10% of that back in Bitcoin Cash. And I'm trying to educate other people in that committee on how to use it and accept in their businesses. So I know my Flipstarter is set up for 100 businesses onboarded. This may be a much more efficient way to get that number since I'm around the 60 number now. So, looking at things from a different perspective on adoption, and pretty. These are other things that we have to do. I think a big way to grow crypto is through community leaders that tend to often be business owners. And the more business owners in different areas that I can touch all over the country within a buying group can really exponentially grow my ability to educate different pockets about cryptocurrency and useful ones like Bitcoin Cash. Even though my Flipstarter is a lot about Bitcoin Cash, really what we want is peer-to-peer cash. Peer-to-peer cash that makes sense, and certainly that is Bitcoin Cash. So very excited to get out to St. Kitts and use lots of Bitcoin Cash and meet. We got a handful of people in the chat here. Meet some of you guys out there. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I had some good talks with who was I talking to? OG up in the Northeast. I've had some amazing talks with people in the community, and he's offered me a health retreat to Allodium, his sovereign country up there. Really, I think all that stuff is good too. I think even though I'm saying I have a current health condition, I think you can improve your health through good relationships, good mental health, good natural medicines and things like that. So I got a comment here. Who do we got here? From Bry Kaz. What's up, brother? BCH goes free currency. Just bought more BCH. 494 BCH on deck. Holla at your boy. You're gonna get 21 million, man. Love to spend it and not cash out. Appreciate your hard work and spread the word. I really appreciate that, man. I'm really excited for everything moving forward. I'm really excited about these prices. It's this whole time, as we're crashing, I'm so worried about not taking advantage of good prices, but we keep on getting good prices. So it's you have to look at it in perspective, you're young, and this is amazing. I was just talking to one of my factories tonight, actually. He's 55, and he was at my crypto conference. He called me after. He's like, Ryan, tell me more about crypto, man. What is going on there? And we talked about time horizons and philosophic reasons why I buy crypto, because so much of it is I do see it as an investment vehicle. I'm an investor just naturally, right? So I think what allowed crypto to be so strong and stoic, to get from 0 to 1 to 100 to an $800 billion market cap today, was its philosophic stoic nature. And we're all going to die, right? So how do you want to die? What kind of things do you want to do in your life? That's always why I come back to crypto. It's such a good way to spend your life. It's such a good thing to partake in. We live such a fascinating time where the winds of time are going to change in our lifetime, and you can play a small part of a big puzzle to impact it slightly into a direction that you may better like. And I think it's really interesting what the market did to Sam Bankman-Fried, the owner of FTX, who was pushing so hard for crypto to be regulated. It was the weirdest thing, and I'm really glad, I feel bad for the people from the exchanges, and this is probably going to affect me, as I thought I was going to be able to get liquidity from him buying Voyager, which I'll probably end up taking that loss, but whatever. I almost think it's maybe someone else buys Voyager or not, but FTX is gone now. This guy, I don't know if it's true, but I heard he filed for bankruptcy. He was worth $15 billion 2 days ago. Now he's bankrupt. Absolutely wild. But this is a guy that was trying so hard to work with regulators to get crypto massively regulated and KYC and follow every transaction you do. And Eric Voorhees did an interview with him and said, if the email protocol came out, why don't we have these same huge regulations on email protocol? And Sam goes, oh, that'd be a huge violation of freedom of speech. And he spoke so passionately about why you should have freedom of speech. Money is speech too. The way I spend my money is speech. It doesn't make any sense, the inconsistency for it. All these regulations towards using crypto or money versus using and sending information. Very fascinating. So again, we get to spend our life here. Keep yourself in good health, live a good long life, and watch interesting, hopefully good things play out. It's what side of history do you want to contribute to? So what's going on in St. Kitts? I'm really excited to meet a lot of people who are attracted to that same philosophic vision, and that's going to be the coolest part of it. I was explaining to my web developer, he was at the conference, he's in my buying group, how I need to get better peer-to-peer acceptance of crypto on my site. And he's like, well, Ryan, do you really, I want to give discounts for people to pay in crypto, especially now. And he really just didn't understand, this is something that is so important. It's risk and all these other things that you're taught to protect yourself and be risk averse and don't do too scary of things. But I'm dude, you're gonna die. I always think of everything in life I'm gonna die, and then I make my decision after that. It helps if you think about life in those terms. I think it helps with being so risk adverse. And you don't ever do it. You always play life safe. And I was talking to a friend yesterday. He was telling me how his father-in-law is multi-millionaire, and he speaks bad English. He speaks fluent Greek, whatever Greek speak, Greece. And whenever he makes a mistake on a project, let's say we're building a restaurant, he yells at me. He goes, Ryan, I never went to school. I went straight to work. How do you expect me to know all that? And his response back was, he's such a great entrepreneur because his lack of overintelligence, his lack of Epicurean nature, right? He's more stoic, allows him to take more risk, and he's reaped such a big financial reward. And don't get me wrong, there's a downside to risk too. But if you're young, man, if you're young and you're being living life scared of making mistakes or building a society, helping crypto, I think you're making a huge mistake. So I don't know if that rings home for anyone, but that's really curious about how people think and make decisions, and what makes them make their daily decisions. HJ, what's up, bud? I just got a bro. I don't know if you saw the beginning of the video or the first part. So if you have a question, I'd answer. I'm not sure what part of the video you're coming in on now. We have 10 in the chat. Yeah, so you remember Bitcoin Cash was $60. So you are an OG. Last time we went to $60, we did not. We were not there for long. I remember. I don't. I didn't get it at $60. I think Mark DeMessel got it at $60. That it was very. This downturn's been like a very different experience than 17. 17 came hard and fast. The capitulation. This one's taking a little bit longer. I'm going to St. Kitts on Friday. Unfortunately, I was gonna go tomorrow, but Hurricane Nicole. I don't want to risk like a last minute shutdown of the airport, and I don't want to drive in like 75-degree winds and floods tomorrow to try to make it to the airport in time. So I just moved my flight to Friday, and I'll be there for Saturday and Sunday for the event. So yeah, I think we got that nice crash a few months ago. Crypto bottomed at like 850 billion. We've shed an additional like 60, 70 billion below that on this capitulation. So that's yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's question is how much worse can it get? When I always think we're at the market bottom, like what else bad could happen? And I guess I never took a look at FTX's balance sheet and realized that they were borrowing $8 billion against a $2 trillion asset. That didn't seem like a good. Every business or every crypto you have to do what's called a SWOT analysis, right? Like what can destroy me? What can kill me? Uh, and I had a little bit of money on FTX actually, as I was just buying cryptos on different exchanges and acquiring just periodically through it. Not a lot of money on exchanges. I tried to keep very little on exchanges, of course, but I quickly moved it all off on Monday. People are going to sell their soul. I'm expecting more dump. I do think this is good for protocols like Bitcoin Cash. I do. We've seen so many flashy, sexy coins go past Bitcoin Cash, then take the elevator the other way. So FTT is just another one. Solana will likely join if it hasn't already. We've seen Luna. We've seen ICP. We've seen all kinds of things that go up and down. And I think Bitcoin Cash, while we have our fair share of turmoil, we do have good things going in the community. Again, we have the most vibrant merchant onboarding out of any crypto. We have, I saw the demonstration Kim Dot-com did of Cash Rain. That looks like, we've all been waiting for Kim in the space to deliver a product, and really actually blown away with it. So I think it has legs. And cash tokens is something very exciting. BCH Bull, leveraging on chain to have stable prices. So a lot of development. It's always going on, and we have a conference in a country where to get nation state adoption. So a lot of exciting bullish things happening for Bitcoin Cash. Smart BCH has had trouble. Whales in the community have had trouble, which not good, but we also have good. But the thing that's different with like Solana and these other coins that are going up and down past it, they're so centralized. Where like Bitcoin Cash, yeah, some bad things will happen, but man, block after block, low fees, zero comp transactions all day long, for years and years and years. I never bought Solana, or if I did, very little. I gotta see if I ever bought some on Voyager. A lot of people coming to Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase I've been using a little bit. I've been using some Kraken. I like Kraken. The CEO, the former CEO, Jesse Powell, I think is his name, was like a fellow anarchist. I like the way he spoke about the world, so that made me want to support his business. Armstrong, I've listened to Josh Elliott-Thorpe say many positive things about Coinbase, and I really respect him. And I think they treat customer funds the way you would hope an exchange would. But again, don't trust anyone, even your best friends in this space. So again, just when you're on and offboarding crypto, especially now, you're trying to accumulate cryptos. All I'm going to buy is BCH. I got to ask a question. As someone that loves BCH, and that does buy other coins, why are you only going to buy Bitcoin Cash? Is it like that? To me, I think it has to be like a very well. I commend it. I think it's a very philosophic view, and I guess would you consider yourself a Bitcoin Cash maximalist? Um, Last bear market, I only bought two coins. I bought Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum. Oh man, I'm sorry. He says FTX is terrible. People are committing suicide over these coins. You know, the road to actually get to where we're going to end up is going to be a very fascinating road. It's going to be a very fascinating road. Uh, Very interesting. Hi from Guatemala for me, BCH, XMR, and coins that have real utility will survive. Utility wins long term or speculation. Yeah, I mean, I've expressed a lot of love for Monero on this channel. The more I've spent time in crypto communities and appreciated them for what they're worth. You know, I appreciate a lot of things about Bitcoin Cash is like how like philosophically driven the project is. So like it makes bear markets less painful. And the people that were here with, you know, talking on a channel when we were over $1,000 are the same people that are talking to me, well, I'm under $100 and still just as excited about peer-to-peer cash. Like you don't get that in a lot of other coins. The diehards don't really exist in a lot of these coins, but Monero has that, and other coins do have that. So, and those coins to me are interesting, especially if the blockchain has some legs. Bitcoin Collab is here. Terrific to see you, brother. Hoping to have this trip to St. Kitts, I can find some more help for my Bitcoin Cash event that'll be in May, which we talked about briefly. Really excited to shake some hands and talk to some people over there. Luna, Terra, Sol, all those suicides over life savings. There's still a ton more coins about to get destroyed. Imagine how many people about to lose it all. Yeah, I always think can it get worse? Someone else is trying to say AVAX. I know the AVAX developers has a lot of synergies with Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, I kind of went live, Aaron, impromptu. Like I tried to go live earlier, and my phone was acting funky with the internet connection. So, but I wanted to come live, and I shared some health information on me. I shared some health that I'm was suffering with a pre-diabetic condition. I was pre-diabetic and had no testosterone. So the investment I'm speaking about is just your health in general, and I didn't realize I was a collegiate athlete. I always felt like I was in good health. I kind of saw some things changing over the years, but always tried to work out and always thought I could eat whatever I want. For me, it's genetic. My father's diabetic, and something I have to pay attention to. And I think it's really been feeling off for a little while, and finally got the answer. And I feel really good now. I've been treating. I've been doing testosterone injections. I'm not sure if that went away. D3 injections, B12 shots. I've been going to I guess you can call it performance health clinic, but you can also say healthcare should also be preventative, right? People only pay for their healthcare when they're sick. That's not the right way to do it. Like if you want to pay to keep yourself just alive, or if you want to feel really good in your 50s and 60s, and whatever happens to our generation's life expectancy. So, anyways, but no, it's good to talk markets too. But I was just explaining a little bit what was going on with me. I was telling everyone too that I'm in a buying group that we do probably about $500 to $600 worth of purchasing together as a group, and I've created a crypto committee with it, and going to look to use Bitcoin Cash in our rebates. So we buy a lot of products from factories, and we do high volume with them. We're awarded with rebates, and I am going to be using the dealership. I've taught them how to get crypto and send it to me in rebates in Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is all you need, really. Buy BCH and take care of your family the rest of your generation. Your grandkids will forever thank you for buying Bitcoin Cash. Shiba Inu, you mess up, could blow up. Yeah, I don't know enough about the blockchain of Shiba Inu, like how it could mess up. I actually have been buying Doge. Like I don't think people realize like Doge is actually a huge competitor to Bitcoin Cash. And what I mean by that is not necessarily now, in terms of functionality of the blockchain, but intentions of development. And we'll see what happens over the next couple of years if anything happens. But certainly the viral nature of it, also with the biggest thought leader behind it being pro big block. And we all are bigger blockers over here, and we understand that the blocks need to rise. It's better than second chain solutions for it. So I don't think people realize that the actual biggest competitor to Bitcoin Cash is Doge. I really feel that way. Again, not saying that they both can't coexist or Bitcoin Cash can't win, but to say it's not competition, I think a little we might be a little naive to say like this thing's actually got some legs. It's proof of work. Yeah, it's inflationary, but if especially with the Twitter acquisition, it'd be really interesting to see how Doge continues to get used from Elon in social networks. But I tell you what, Kim.com and Elon talk quite a bit, and this new Cash Rain product built on Bitcoin Cash, that thing, this again, that viral, like you need to have what's the word I'm looking for? You need to have some viral aspect to your coin to create network effects, to get it in more hands. Todd, it's been a while, man. I thought about you the other day. Doge's the only meme coin I would buy for LOLs. I can see it being a tipping coin used on Twitter. I think it's probable to be a tipping coin on Twitter. And the exact size of the blocks right now, I'd have to look it up off the top of my head. I don't know. But if Elon stops talking about Doge and makes his exit, it will not end well for followers. They will blame Elon for losing their life savings and commit suicide. So that's an interesting take, right? So you could say it's centralized nature from that perspective, that Elon is like try to compare like Elon Musk to Doge to, let's say, Roger Ver with Bitcoin Cash. Like Roger could leave Bitcoin Cash tomorrow, and Bitcoin Cash would still be there. But it probably would hurt, right? And like Bitcoin.com always being so friendly to Bitcoin Cash, it's a good tool. So we need more development. We need Doge. So it's in the same way Doge needs to decentralize away from Elon. You can say the same things about Roger Ver and Bitcoin Cash. Just playing, don't get me wrong, like I'm just playing devil's advocate. And I'm saying like the need to do these things, right? To not have such big polarizing figures, even though, just idea. All these rug pulls currencies getting crushed around the world. CBDC incoming, yes. Bank runs coming to America next. Dude, like I tell people, like, I'll explain it a little bit more. Bank runs coming to America. The next thing, they are trying to control its wealth by the click of a mouse. Yes, CBDCs are no joke. Bank runs could happen if civil unrest gets a lot worse. Yeah, I definitely think it's gotten worse. So, if what makes the dollar valuable is the most part that like people believe in the system, like right, people believe and they have enough fear of government and their government that they believe they have the ability to have a powerful military. The petrodollar is a real thing. The fact that like you can always exchange oil for dollars, like those are the two biggest things that like give like I think the current system legs. And what would it take for those things to unravel? I think more civil unrest and political divide. But it's really CBDCs. Like CBDCs are very like Bitcoin was created to be peer-to-peer cash, and it's like, wow, we just really created a government spy system instead. That would be disappointing. So Seeing people like Sam Bankman-Fried that were like proponents of that, like go away, in a sense, he's bankrupt, is a good thing, in my opinion. So, who else is going to St. Kitts? Any other questions? I'm going to hop off here in a couple minutes. I don't think Elon even responds to Kim. Yes, he does. I've seen they've talked on a couple manners. I know I know a little bit more that they've done more than communicate on Twitter, and they pretty sure have talked about Bitcoin Cash from rumors I've heard. I won't name sources, which would be really good. I don't want to give like overly FOMO. That like imagine if Elon came out as a Bcasher, like that would be. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I definitely think it's clear that like Elon's a smart person and realizes that bigger blocks is a better solution. Is it true Mark Cuban was on a BCH Twitter live? I don't think he was on a Twitter live. He was on a live with Peter McCormick, actually a Bitcoin maximalist, and Peter McCormick said how Bitcoin's for sure going to win. And Mark pointed out all of the crypto adoption in the Caribbean, Mark Cuban said, and that you're not in a vacuum, and pointed out that what Bitcoin Cash is doing. So Mark's not blind. The world's not blind. The world can try to ignore Bitcoin Cash, but it can't. Thanks, Ryan. You and Mark, appreciate you guys. Have a safe trip. Thank you, brother. That one was a while ago. Which one? When Mark did that? I don't know if he went on any others, so maybe he did. That was a while ago, yes. So I don't know. Someone else asked me that too, so maybe he did, and maybe I missed it. I have more energy now, so maybe I can be out there more. That I'm artificially pumping myself with testosterone. So, any other questions, guys? I'm going to relax and hopefully not get too affected by Hurricane Nicole and get on a plane Friday and go to the Caribbean. A lot of great feedback. I appreciate it all, guys. I'm not in St. Kitts now. I was supposed to leave tomorrow, but due to Hurricane Nicole, I am leaving on Friday. I pushed back my flight, so I'm in my house right now, in my wife's office. So yeah, definitely see. I think we see Bitcoin Cash touch $60. I'm calling. Stay alive, bro. We need you representing BCH. That's why I'm going on the plane tomorrow. The people I'm traveling with said like, let's just leave on Friday. Like we could die. Like what if the guy messes up in the hurricane? A lot of BCH channels disappeared. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to think which other ones disappeared. I know Gabriel. Everyone's unclear what's up with Gabriel. Vlad is active. Vlad's going to. He did a lot of good Bitcoin Cash. I'm friends with Vlad. He'll be in St. Kitts. The Bitcoin Cash podcast, like he does amazing work. Mark Fozon, I saw just uploaded today. David Bond actually hit me up and said he was going to try to get to St. Kitts to vlog. I know some people feel contention towards him, but I definitely know he is a Bcasher from my communication with him. But what other channels have come and gone? I feel bad for my productivity, which I hope really will increase as I feel healthy, and I also now have, between the companies I operate now, I'm up to 23 employees, so I feel like I'm at a number where I can, a good number. I've done a lot of hiring. I started 2 new employees last week, so yeah. But no, I appreciate your kind words. It's very, very kind, and excited to. There's a lot of other people doing a lot of good things in Bitcoin Cash, even if they're not making videos about it. A lot of activity on Twitter. Chad's a good Bitcoin Cash. He does a lot of Bitcoin Cash videos. He's not coin. I wouldn't call him a Bitcoin Cash maxi. He likes his Monero and controversially some BSV. I've heard. Chad, are you going to St. Kitts? That's awesome. Bitcoin, Dogecoin hit highest difficulty level of all time. How do you feel about that? I mean, difficulty level. Yeah, I did some positive talk of Doji because I do think it's a real. I do think it's a real threat to the Bitcoin Cash. Threat. I don't know if threat's the word, but I do think it's got a decent shot at peer-to-peer cash. If just because it has big block philosophy. Yeah, the difficulty level, I try to understand. I've heard things saying how like the Bitcoin scaling model, like the security models actually, people are which everything is supposed to be about security, but people are saying the security model is actually falling apart as difficulty levels get too high. From a technical level, I'd have to think through that and probably can't articulate it at the moment as I'm getting ready to go to bed. But yeah, I guess if the difficulties are too high, there's only so many computers that can compute at that level. Like it makes sense. Then you're decreasing decentralization. Like that makes sense. Yeah, and you have a falling market. So I don't know how these miners are making any money right now. If you're spending all that money and power to mine. But Chad, correct me if I'm off there at all. But it's a 10 o'clock over here, is it? Let me see what time it is. I gotta get some sleep. I just hit my move goal somehow sitting here. I don't know how. So, but thank you guys so much, man. Over 11 in the chat here. I'm going to go get ready for bed and see what the storm does tomorrow. And I'll see y'all in St. Kitts on Friday. I'm gonna do a lot of videoing and make a video of it. I know it's gonna be a live stream, so if you hop on, I don't know what channel is gonna be live streaming actually. I know Elliot, Fiendish Crypto is gonna be the host, and actually I do know who's gonna be involved in a lot of the videoing. I'm just not sure what platform it's gonna stream from. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'll see you in my next one. See you in St. Kitts.